English translation, 363rd contact, Sunday, 1st August 2004, or 2 hours.
Be warmly welcome and greeted, dear friend. I have waited for you for a long time.
I also offer you my greetings. Talsda told me that you wish my presence and help. She was talking about an accident that happened to you?
That is right. This hand here.
Yes. You are wearing a support brace. What happened? Unfortunately, I could not come earlier because I am very busy far away and hardly find time to leave. So I come here now during my rest period.
The thing is this. I had an accident on Monday morning, the 19th of July, when I went back to my office in the dark at 0:30 HRs. In doing so, I wanted to go through Ava's office entrance, in front of which there is a thick foot scraper. An intelligent human being swapped this foot rug with another very thin one in front of the print shop without me noticing, which led to the accident. In front of the print shop, I stumbled over the thick foot scraper placed there and fell down to the front. Fortunately, I was able to catch myself with my hand on the right side of the door frame when I slammed my head into the thick door pane. Otherwise, I would have smashed through the pane with my head and fallen straight in with my neck, which would certainly have slit my throat. So I was lucky, if I may say so, because the misfortune resulted in the little finger of my right hand, as if I still had two, turning backwards and not returning to the correct position. So, I had to put my hand under my left armpit and use force to bring the finger back to the correct position. Of course it hurt like hell, and the finger and hand also became enormously swollen. I then tried to get rid of the lump with ice wraps, but I did not succeed. On Wednesday, everything was so unbearable that I went to the doctor, who took several x-rays, and found that the tendon on my little finger had ruptured and snapped back. He said that the whole thing could not be operated on because the tendon was so thin, and that therefore the joints would atrophy due to arthrosis. In addition, the little finger sticks outwards by several degrees, and is also compressed, which is why I cannot work with a typewriter or computer. This is the reason why I called Talsda and asked her to come here to seek your medical help. If perhaps you can do something to fix my little finger.
Let me diagnose, but first I need to remove the bandage and the support brace. Yes, that does not look very good. We have to get into my flying apparatus because I only have the necessary equipment there. Here we are. Let us see now. With this device, in which you have to hold your hand, I can see what damage has been done to your little finger and hand. Yes, this really does not look good. The tendon is actually torn, just like the vein and muscle ligaments are torn. Two bruises are also visible on the back of the hand, in addition to the fact that the little finger, the ring finger, and the wrist are severely compressed. So it is not surprising that you can no longer work with your hand and must be in great pain. Also, it is really high time that I give your hand and fingers a treatment, because only 1 or 2 days later it would be too late. But now I can put the tendon back together again, but tomorrow or the day after tomorrow it would be too late. The finger spreads out 46 degrees, as I can see here on this meter. Without rejoining the tendon, the little finger will not reattach itself to the ring finger. If I would known that, I would have taken the time to get here sooner under any circumstances. Come and sit here so I can treat your hand. Yeah, that is good. Now put your hand into this device, hold it very still, because only then can I make the necessary manipulations. But you will not feel any pain. The swelling will not disappear immediately, nor will the strains of the vein and the muscle ligaments, which is why you will still have pain for the next 14 days to 3 weeks. It will also be necessary for you to do therapeutic movement exercises with your wrist and fingers several times a day under running water in order to maintain your mobility. You will need running water, which should also be tolerably hot. But now I want to do my work, which will take about half an hour. We can probably have a conversation, whereby I would like to discuss some purely private matters with you, if that is convenient for you.
Of course.
Well, then I want to address the following. Your advice is worth a lot to me. I want to thank you for that. And that is the end of the treatment. As you can see, the little finger is again in the correct position and is therefore no longer spread out. The tendon is rejoined and functional again, and you can also move the finger again.
Fine, yes, indeed. It works again. It hurts, but that will pass.
It is the pulled muscles and sprains. They will continue to cause pain for another 2 to 3 weeks. Because I must not influence this healing process as a result of the tendon treatment, because the tendon may only be properly stressed after about 2 or 3 weeks. And so that there is no too great a strain, we should let the muscle pulls and sprains heal in a natural way, because the pain will make you act so that you do not take too much stress and the fine tendon gains the necessary time. So, on the basis of rationality, I may not heal everything, but only what is necessary to prevent further damage. So you should take care of the hand, and especially the little finger, and not overstrain it, not even through the daily therapies.
Understood, my friend. My tremendous thanks for your help. When I think that I could not have used my remaining hand to do my job anymore. Man, I do not know.
Knowing you, you would have found a way even then.
Maybe, but tell me, my friend. About 2 hours ago, you flew with your ship across the sky into the constellation of the Great Bear. And when I called you because I thought it could be you, you twice made your ship shine brightly. Liesel, Stefan, and Madeline saw that too. But before that, another ship flew ahead at about the same height as yours, and then simply disappeared. And after you made your ship light up twice, another ship appeared a little to the right and a little ahead of you. Who was flying the other 2 ships?
Finger exercises by Bernadette Brand, Switzerland.
Between the 20th of July 2004 and the 3rd of August 2004, I had the following email correspondence with Marianne Eulinger.
The 21st of July, 2004, 0:43 hours.
Poor Billy. In addition to his lumbago and conjunctivitis, which thanks to eye drops is now at least on the road to recovery, also stumbled and probably sprained his little finger at the printer's door last night when he tripped over the carpet in front of the printers. His finger did not look nice at all today, so I tried to send Billy to the doctor, but it did not suit him at all. At least I made sure that he put on a cold pack so that the thick swelling could go down a bit.
The 21st of July, 2004, 7:32 hours. Answer from Mayan.
Maybe Billy should go to the doctor because of the finger, although he cannot wear a cast or bandage because of the keyboard. That he also always has to do such things when his friends are all on holiday. But maybe there is someone else present after all, and then the finger is healed again. We will see then.
The 22nd of July, 2004, 11:28 hours.
Billy went to the doctor yesterday morning voluntarily because his finger would not let him sleep. Logically, his finger was not only sore, but a tendon was torn, which is why he now has to wear a plastic splint on his little finger, which is fixed to his ring finger with a bandage. As it cannot be any other way with Billy, we had to remove the bandage twice yesterday because a small edge stood off from the plastic splint, which cut into his ring finger. Before that, he told me that he could not sleep because his ring finger burned and hurt so much, a feat when the stupid edge of the splint cuts into him. So I just cut it off. Hopefully it is better now. The accident happened because the Sunday service person took away the 2 carpets in front of the print shop and Ava's office to do a thorough sweep, and then mixed up the 2 foot scrapers, leaving the thicker one in front of the print shop. Billy then wanted to go back to his office on Sunday night around 30 hours after he had taken his medication, without turning on the lights in the corridor, and stumbled over the thicker carpet, which he had not expected there. He fell against the printer's door, on whose frame he could just barely support himself so that he did not slam through the glass insert of the door. In the process, he injured his little finger. You would not believe how often I get annoyed because our members do not respect what they take from where or what belongs where. In the kitchen, Ava and I are constantly searching for utensils and dishes and putting them back in the right place. Mindfulness is also trained in such things. I also find it impertinent and inconsiderate not to put things exactly where they were taken. If one is not sure, one could at least ask, and thereby, as a second aspect, maintain order. Accidents like the one that happened to Billy are only caused by carelessness and indifference. And he was lucky in his misfortune. He could just as well have fallen through the glass, and then the glass would have cut his throat. What a horror!
The 22nd of July, 2004, 11:47 hours. Answer from Mayan.
Yes, such careless things are really a nuisance. It also makes me sick. It is so inconsiderate and thoughtless, like the deluge after me.
2004, 0:45 hours.
Billy's hand has been bothering me almost half the day today. First, I cut his splint because part of it stood up and pressed into his ring finger. Besides, both fingers are still injured, so he has a lot of pain when they are pressed together, which is the case with the bandage. In the meantime, he has taken off the splint and smeared his hand with Usita and stuck a plastic bag over it as protection. First, we looked for a suitable finger stall. Then I wanted to sew one, but found that Eva's flowery fabric was not the right one for Billy. But it all failed in the end because we did not have a suitable tape to tie the finger stall, or better yet, the hand. I went to the drugstore in Turbenthal to find something suitable and finally came home with a waterproof bandage, which Billy did not want either. At the end, I wrote 2 short letters for him, because he cannot work on the computer with his damaged hand and therefore has to take a break, which he obviously does not like very much. Frankly, I would not like it either if I had as much work as Billy, who also works for the Pliaren, who probably expect him to have answered all their questions in detail when they come back in August.
2004, 7:36 hours. Answer from Mayan.
You should see me with my smile on my lips. Bulls are very motherly or fatherly, as well as stomping and snorting. When I think of my father, how he fought for his brood, nothing should have come near us. When you think what disastrous effect such a simple, thoughtless rug routine can have. As you imagined yourself, it could have been much worse. Billy is probably on pins and needles until he's ready to get back to work. We all still have a lot to learn, and we all have to be on our guard to avoid falling into the unfavorable causes of others.
2004, 2:16 hours.
On Saturday evening, I asked Billy if it did not bother him when he was writing, if his little finger stood off, and he could not pull it on his ring finger anymore. Yesterday he told me that he had called Taljda and asked Quetzal to come and help him with his little finger. I am glad that he finally made up his mind to do so, because I already suggested it to him on Wednesday when he told me about his accident. At that time,
However,
he declined on the grounds that he could not reach anyone because they were all too far away. It is a classic testimony and article situation, and that is what I told him yesterday, which he laughed at.
2003, 7:06 hours. Answer from Mayan.
I also asked Billy about his friends, if they could help him. Now he probably really thought he had to do something, especially because we are so persistent. Because writing with only one hand and then only 3 fingers and the thumb is a bit tedious right now. I am also very happy that he has decided to get Quetzal via Taljda.
The 28th of July, 2004, 7:05 hours.
Yes, at first Billy was very negative, but last night he came specially and told me that Taljda had told him that Quetzal would come to see him on Thursday or Friday to check it out. His finger is really sticking out at an angle of 45 to 47 degrees, and he said that when he tried to press it against the other fingers, it hurt satanically.
The 28th of July, 2004, 7:54 hours. Answer from Mayan.
Maybe you should take a picture of Billy's finger before Quetzal was there so you can see the difference. Sometimes I wonder what his doctor, Dr. Floxman, thinks about his contacts and his uncanny powers of consciousness. He has got to be aware of that too, right? By the time he reads the book, Rebirth, he will know when he translates the old Lyran characters.
The 29th of July, 2004, 22:33 hours.
Yes, today I took that picture of Billy's hand. He is a little disappointed because he has to wait 2 more days, as Taljda told him tonight. I also think that the young Floxman is informed, and I think that as a doctor he should actually show some understanding. I did not know that he had received a book from Billy and would read it during the holidays.
The 30th of July, 2004, 7:15 hours. Answer from Mayan.
Does this mean that Quetzal is coming on Saturday or Sunday instead of today or tomorrow? Better a little late than never. But I understand Billy, he is on fire, and he cannot just put his feet up and enjoy the free time. Neither could I if I still had so much to do.
The 1st of August, 2004, 23:13 hours.
Billy's hand is fine. Quetzal mended it for him this morning, shortly after 2:00 C, and it looked really good again when I saw him at noon today. The finger is back to normal and seems to be completely restored, even if it still looks a bit stiff now. Now I am even happier that he asked Taljda to get Quetzal here, because Quetzal told him that he should not have waited another day, otherwise the hand would not have been repairable for him either, because the tendon would have receded too much in the meantime. Since all the muscles and tendons in the hand are very much affected by the accident, Billy, on Quetzal's advice, has to open and close his hand for 5 minutes a day under hot running water to restore full mobility as soon as possible. He also got rid of his lumbago, which he has been working on for more than 3 weeks. Sometimes he walked across the square as if he had shelled eggs under his feet, so the pain in his back seemed to plague him. Although he regularly lubricated his back and put on the cold pack every day for a while, it seemed to me that it got worse rather than better. There is no big point in asking him about his condition in such situations, because he simply says that it is fine, but would never admit how miserable he really feels. The only way to see this is by his face color, which fortunately cannot yet trivialize things as much as he does. I am very happy that Quetzal and Ta are taking care of him.
The 2nd of August, 2004, 11:23 hours. Answer from Mayan.
Did you actually photograph the repaired hand again? Surely yes, right?
The 4th of August, 2004, 22:38 hours.
I did not take a picture of the healthy finger, and you will not believe it, it is broken again. What it is exactly, we do not know yet. If Billy's lucky, he is only very badly sprained or pulled a muscle, but it could well be something worse again. He drove off today with Silvano in the old Volvo and wanted to roll up the window, but his little finger got caught in the side pocket of the door, which is broken and a little bit off, and it tore his finger so far back that it was pulled away. It is like that. Billy is not spared anything, and he was understandably upset about his mishap. Fortunately, the second accident with Billy's little finger only turned out to be a very severe strain and sprain with some bruising on the innermost phalanx, as well as on the back of the hand and on the underside of the palm. He treated the new injury with a medication patch, and after some time, he fortunately had everything under control again.
The first flying apparatus belonged to Tauron, and the second to Taljda.
Uh-huh. And what about the fact that in the early evening of the 19th of July, our passive member Anton Hanekamp was able to take pictures of some ships in St. Goran or in Eisenstadt in Burgenland in Austria? Taljda told me that people from you were out there.
That is of correctness. During the last 2 months, Taljda, Tauron, and Zafanat Paneash were active in the Austrian area with reconnaissance and monitoring work, and obviously Anton Hanekamp was able to take pictures of our airplanes at the time you mentioned. According to what you have described to Taljda, the flying apparatus captured by the photo device in the foreground is the one of Zafanat Paneash, because the triple formation of our flying apparatuses at the time you mentioned was such that Zafanat Paneash was closest to Anton's position.
Thank you. That clears things up.
Then I would like to talk to you privately for a little while now, but I do not want you to write down later what you want to keep in mind when retrieving.
Of course.
Then I want to begin